and the calendar kind of got a bit mucked up. So I do apologize for letting the two of you wait and for probably a few other people as well. But yeah, thank you for staying and joining. I think was it you, Mark? You said this was your first one. I'm so sorry for leaving such a terrible impression. I'm hoping you can hear me, Mark.
Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Okay, two can hear you. All good. Mark.
Hello, Mark. Hello. Hello, can you hear us, Mark? Maybe I drop in the chat.
Yeah, I'll drop one here. There we
Okay.
go.
Good morning. Sorry, I just had an issue with the microphone.
No,
All good
no, of
now.
course, Mark. Sorry, I was just apologizing first of all because we've got there was daylight savings and the calendar didn't reflect on for me, so I was assuming that it was starting 30 minutes as my usual time, but it didn't. It was an hour earlier, so I'm gonna make sure that
No
that
problem.
reflects. And I know that this is your first time, so I'm so sorry for such a poor impression. I'm usually not 30 minutes tardy. Not that tardy anyway. So yeah, Mark, hello, welcome to your first live Q&A.
Thank you.
This is exactly as it is. It's just a Q&A for you can ask any questions, you can grab any thoughts, if you wanted to go through your site or something like that, this is where we can do that. And two, so lovely to see you again, you know, from last week. But yeah, did anybody have any questions to start us off with?
Actually, I haven't had. I've got no questions because I joined last week. Been watching for quite some time. Joined last week. I have a very full schedule, and the idea was to, you know, get started early this week, going through some of the training. But of course, you know, life gets in the road.
Of course.
So I literally haven't gone through anything at the present moment.
Okay.
And I was just jumping on the call just to, you know, get that little bit of extra insight from other people's questions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you'll find anything too kind of relevant. If you haven't gone for anything, sometimes I've, you know, students have found that if they just join the live Q&As without going for anything, they can get a bit overwhelmed because the topics ranges quite a lot. But you have some people who might be 6 months into it, some people just starting out, some people who've been doing it for quite a while. So there's quite a lot of content sometimes. And saying that, I think quite a few people have dropped off, so it just can be a bit more personalized. If there was anything that you had questions about just starting out, you can definitely ask that as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that the first step for you, Mark, is of course just going through the course, right? I think going through the course is going to give you insights into a lot of what is kind of happening and things like that. So yeah, I see you have a lot of like kind of like tripods and stuff. Do you do like tech? A lot of tech recordings and anything like that?
Yeah, look,
Cameras?
there's a couple of things that I do. I do live production, remote production for people. I do a little bit of my own stuff. But I'm basically digital nomad for a long time. I'm based in Bali. It's a lifestyle.
Oh, Mark, where in Bali are you based? I'm also from Bali. Well, moved here 9 months ago.
Okay, fantastic. I'm in Sanur.
So no, yeah, I'm in Canggu. Yeah,
I knew you were
amazing.
going to say that.
Yeah, I know everybody's in Canggu, right? Everybody's in Canggu, Puranan. But it's just it's close. I think it's central, which is what I like about it. I don't love the traffic. I don't love the heaps of people, but from a lifestyle perspective, it just made the most sense for my partner and I. But yeah, keep going. Sorry. Production.
I've been in the industry for a long time. Part of what I'm doing now is a sort of an over-the-shoulder, you know, help and assistance. So I'm doing the program. My clients who would be, you know, potentially interested in either doing the program or doing something similar, I'm, you know, working with them. So this is just one stream to 4 or 5 side hustles that I am working on. Just, you know, the classic, you know, 4-hour work week type stuff. The intention is to, you know, put essentially an hour a day
Of course, yeah, yeah. Quick question for you. I don't know if you like thought about this or whether like going into this, whether you had kind of any intentions, or what your intentions were of a blog, but were you looking to create a blog where it's a stream of passive income, where it's the model isn't really through like affiliate marketing and sponsorships, or are you looking to find more clients and to build up things like that? So like did you have like any kind of like thoughts on what your the intentions of your blogs would be and what the driver of that is in terms of how you're wanting to monetize that and the utility of that? Or are you
The
still open?
former is
You're kind of
probably
exploring.
the ideal setup.
Yeah.
However, the latter, finding clients, is also an option. I mean, I
Yeah.
run probably the best part of 100 blogs already in
Yeah.
for different things in different niches, etc. However, the primary aspect was affiliate marketing, to produce a duplicatable system,
Mm,
a duplicatable experience that people
mm,
can relate to. And I think the affiliate marketing one is the easiest one to be able to um, move people through. Uh, Many people are looking for a faceless um,
yeah.
operation. I mean, there's lots of,
Yeah.
YouTube style stuff. Get in front of the camera. And I work with people in that space. Not everybody
Hmm.
wants to do that. So this is the affiliate marketing faceless. Um, Spend a little bit of time, whether it be a retirement project to keep busy, busy relaxing, as
Yeah.
I like to call it, or it's a side hustle with a current employment, filling time,
Mm,
doing
mm,
secondary income. So I think that to answer your question, the
mm. Hmm.
first is the primary aspect, but
Yep.
without having getting into the course, I don't know the
Yeah,
differentiation
yeah.
between
No, of
the two.
course, of course. I,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to. I think it's just more so, yeah, like some people, you do find that there are some people who have already existing like consulting businesses or agencies and whatnot, and they come into this thinking, okay, well, actually, I want to create a blog for the main kind of goal of lead generation, right? And so therefore, their blog would have to actually center around what their business is about, right? And so, for you, if it was, part of your production, you'd probably want to be talking more about production side of things, cameras, equipment, whatever that may be. But then you also have some people coming here to want to escape that and they want to do something that they're passionate about. Maybe it's fishing. Has nothing to do with their business, nothing to do with their career, but they're really interested in that. They've got a hobby, they've been fishing for 10 years, and maybe they want to kind of make like a side hustle on like fishing or something like that. So there's, a lot of different routes people can take and things like that. So I was just quite curious. I know you haven't gone through the course, but just something just to kind of start thinking about in terms of what the utility of that blog would be, or whether you want to do like a personal brand. It can be a personal brand like Adam Manthroy, Tim Ferriss, and stuff like that, and it starts to expand into other social media channels, right? If you want to build up your personal reputation and things like that, and you want to go cross-channel to YouTube for something a bit more long-term, that is also another thing to consider. But all very exciting stuff, Mark. Just a few things for you to kind of to think about and expect as you go through the course anyway.
Mhm.
So there's that. All right. Well, I mean, Mark, if there wasn't anything else, I'll head over to you. Is it two or Michael? I'm so sorry. I should probably have asked that before. Is two your last name and it's like Michael too?
Yes, yes. I'm Vietnamese, so
Yeah.
my name is Tu, T-U.
Mm.
Yes, but
Tool. Okay, tool.
I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, and I'm also a Michael Jackson
Okay.
impersonator.
Ah,
I dance like Michael
love
Jackson.
that. Okay.
So my
Yeah.
personal brand name is Tu Michael.
Tool,
Yes,
Michael. Okay,
yeah,
very nice. Okay, so I'll call you Tool then.
yes,
But yeah, like how did you go? I mean, last time I know that we were looking at your site and your
yes.
personal brand and things like that. Like, how did you go with using ChatGPT in terms of clustering your existing content and things like that? Like, how's that going? Are you like, yeah, do you have any questions on that?
Yes, I have done some internal linkings with my articles, but not much
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm kind of using my social media to generate leads. But
Yes.
I would like to join this Q&A to have your advice about how to start over with this personal brand when I want to do some global maybe using my blog as building a personal brand, as you said to
Hmm.
Mark. Yes,
Yep.
I would like to build a personal brand first, and then do affiliate marketing or sell my own digital products. So
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. I think that you can do both in tandem, right? Like you can build a personal brand while also building your personal blog. I don't think that they are conflicting things, and focusing on one is going to, like, like whether they're different things, right? I think they're actually the same things that you're trying to do. Like as you build your blog, you're also going to build out your personal brand. But in saying that, people recognize your personal brand a lot more when you step outside of a blog.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people that find a blog, right, or any website really, they are coming in from a Google search. They click on the whatever article that pops up, and they read the information and they leave. Like that's like 90% of your traffic, right? When people aren't searching your name, a personal brand is when someone's searching your name, like, oh, who's To Michael, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
searching something like, how do I make money online? To Michael's the first blog ranking, cool, cool, whatever. I don't really care who To Michael is.
Yes.
I'm just clicking on it so that I can read this article, find out more information, and then leave or whatever that may be, right? So, so that's that element of it, right? So if your real and sole goal and focus is on a personal brand, you have to, I think the first thing is probably, what do you want to be known for, right? Like, like Adam, everybody knows Adam as the blogging guy, right? They're like, okay, well, like Adam is known as the blogging guy. He is not known as like the guy with his kid and his loving wife. Like
Mm-hmm.
people don't really like see that side of Adam. They just know him as like the blogging guy, like the AI blogging guy, right? But then to get there, he actually had to build something that he revolves his brand around first, and then talk about it. So I think the first question for you is, what do you want your personal brand to be revolve around? What do you want people to know you as? Like what, the like what, yeah, like who do you want to be? And then afterwards, trying to find the right channel. And usually it's probably, I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, right? I think YouTube's always the best channel for these type of things. But then like YouTube is probably, oh my goodness, look at that. Thumbs up. But like YouTube is going to be that channel where people are going to recognize you for you, right? Because people are going to keep coming back to your content and your videos because they're like, oh, I like this True Michael guy. I'm here to say, and because it's also delivering content that is relevant to me, right? But people are going to say that for you because it's your face on the camera, you're the one presenting and things like that. But yeah, like I mean, do you have like a thought in terms of, like you said, you wanted your own personal brand? Like, what do you want to be known for? Like, did you have that in mind?
Yes. I want people to know me as a moon dancer and a marketing artist who uh,
Mm-mm.
who share and who share knowledge about marketing, because
Yeah,
my personal story is I
yeah.
build my personal branding with my marketing skills. Yes.
Yep.
So
Mm,
that is the story that I want to connect with people on the emotional
yeah,
level. But then I want
yeah,
to introduce them to some ebooks or some courses
yeah.
to do affiliate marketing, because
Hmm.
especially in Vietnam they really lack of some resources. Yes.
Yeah,
And then I want to sell my services as a consultant
mm,
and coach. Yes.
yeah.
So
Okay. Well, you see, that's the interesting thing is, your from memory, your site also, you write a lot on marketing and things like that as well. So actually, I think there could be a really smart way for you to actually be building your blog alongside like a YouTube channel, as example, or TikTok, right? Or whatever channel you choose for your more personal brand building site, because you could write articles and then take that article and then redistribute that content and then like reformat it to a YouTube video and then like
yes.
TikTok shorts and things like that. And with Kevin's, Mark, you might know, but Kevin, we right now there is a live course going on where Kevin, our make automation AI automation coach, he is doing like a little mini course right now on how to use Make to basically use AI to kind of create content, club publishing, keyword research, all of that stuff. So I think I'm pretty from memory, there is a upcoming module on like content distribution, like how do you take your blog and then turn that into a YouTube video script and then or turn that into shorts and things like that. So that's all going to be part of that. So I think that you can actually with one piece of content, like maybe you're writing an article like the best marketing strategy for real estate. I don't know, like as an example, right? Maybe that's a blog article you're writing. You might repurpose that into a YouTube video script and a YouTube video, and then afterwards turn those into like 10 shorts or something, that long form video. So that's a way that you can do those things. I probably
Yes, talking about um, connection. Hello. The connection, right?
personal brand.
Uh,
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, my internet.
uh-huh,
Hello.
okay. Okay, yes, okay.
Okay. You
Yeah,
back? I'm
don't you
back?
love
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Actually, two,
Yes.
reset that. What is your goal? Is your goal to make money or is your goal to build a personal brand?
Make money.
Make money.
Yes.
I think that for a YouTube channel, it's going to take longer than a
Longer, yeah.
blog, especially with your existing blog, right?
Yes.
But in saying that, if your goal is to get clients, like do you want to
Get
make money
client.
more with clients, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Um, oh, actually, I see it going both ways. Like I see, actually, you know what? I lied. Not I lied, but I'm rethinking this through. You would probably have a easier time finding clients doing YouTube and creating very bottom of funnel content that is addressing your client, like, whoever your potential prospects are on YouTube and then getting these like consulting clients than it is for you to get leads and generate leads through organic traffic by itself
Yes.
for the blog.
Yes.
Right. Obviously, what you're doing is work in terms of you said that a lot of your leads come from social media and things like that, right? So, like apart from that, but right now, your blog in terms of organic traffic hasn't generated you any leads, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that would take a while. In saying that, like, like I think you would be able to make a few, like, money through affiliate marketing with your blog right now, like if you optimize and things like that, but you're not going to probably get clients. So, yeah, I think it's a hard one. I think because I think, in terms of like where do you split your time and things like that, you already have a blog and you already have quite like 100 and I think from memory like 150 articles. So it doesn't
Yes. Yeah. Internet.
There's that internet thing again.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. Did I lose you guys again?
Okay. Okay.
Hello,
It's okay
hello.
now. It's okay
Sorry,
now.
two. Where did I leave off with?
Uh, you are talking about what as far as you can remember 100 and blogs blog posts
Yeah.
100 blog posts on my site.
Yeah,
Yes,
100.
yes, that,
Yeah.
yes. But
Yeah. So yeah.
but that blog post is in Vietnamese, and
Yeah.
I sell some import products on Vietnamese in Vietnamese community.
Hmm.
But now I want to expand my personal brand on global. So I think your ideas about doing some videos content about marketing
Yeah.
strategy for some audience
Mm.
is very interesting. How about marketing
Well,
strategy for
actually,
artists?
mm-mm.
For artists or for
Two.
freelancers? Yes.
Yeah. Quick question. Who's your best client? Like, describe to me who your best client is. Are they Vietnamese or do they speak English?
Right now, my clients Vietnamese,
Vietnamese.
freelancers and solopreneurs.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh,
When you say global, you want to target like a global brand, are you also thinking that you want to target like English speaking clients and stuff like that?
yes, English speaking clients. Yes.
I mean, this actually goes back to the conversation we had last week, right? Where do you, right from the get-go, start out with English content and start competing with the likes of, Alex Hormozy and things like that, right? And you go for a global audience and stuff like that, right? Or do
Yes.
you actually take advantage of you yourself being from Vietnam, speaking Vietnamese, and then that quote unquote untapped Vietnamese market, who, where English speaking people like Alex Hormozy won't be able to necessarily speak Vietnamese and resonate with those people and target those people and get those people as clients, right? And exhausting out that clientele before you expand to be more global and English speaking and things like that. So I think that's something for you to consider. I still think like if I was in your situation where I was able to speak Vietnamese very fluently and most of my clients are, Vietnamese and things like that, that I would be creating a YouTube channel and my blog. Your blog is already all Vietnamese, but like in terms of I would be creating a YouTube channel as an expansion of
Okay.
that blog, and I would be, yeah, it would be in Vietnamese. I would be creating videos in Vietnamese. It's easier for you as well, right? It's always going to be easier for you as well in your kind of first language.
Yes.
And then targeting very nichely down to those people,
Okay.
to Vietnamese, right? Because right now you're telling me that all your like is every single one of your client Vietnamese?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So
No,
would
no.
would you, I mean, yeah, I mean, would it be like, would it be safe to say that you would probably have an easier time getting more Vietnamese clients and helping Vietnamese clients
Yes.
than say someone from Australia or the US?
Uh, excuse me. What is your question again?
No, I was just saying that would it
Ah,
be easier for you to find
yes, yes, yes.
clients who are Vietnamese rather than someone, say, from the US or Australia?
Yes, okay. So it is easier to find Vietnamese clients than English speaking. Yes. Uh,
Yeah, so I think maybe stick with that. I think stick with that. You already have that competitive advantage in a sense where you are taking a course that probably not a lot of Vietnamese marketers are doing, right? And then trying to find those and then, yeah, just targeting that sector for now. It's a smaller piece of the pie, yes, but but it's actually quite big if you think about it, right? You're targeting maybe like a lot of people in Vietnam, and there's a lot of people there, and you yourself are saying that there's not a lot of resources and stuff in Vietnam and stuff like that. So I think that from a what makes sense perspective and from a market perspective, you'd probably be better, and from an ease perspective from yourself as well, right?
yes.
Targeting people in Vietnam and Vietnamese clients, which is already your existing clientele, is going to be a lot easier to start and get traction over the next, 12 months than trying to go global and target
Yes.
everybody, right? So how does that adage go where if your audience is everybody, then your audience is nobody, right? So really pick the niche and the audience that you are going to resonate with. And
Yes.
if people are already paying you money, those people are who you want to target. More of those people. They're the more those people that you want to target. So yeah, so I encourage you to, I think that if you yeah, I think that I don't know, but like do people in Vietnam, like do they go on YouTube quite often, a lot?
Yes.
Shorts and stuff like that might,
They go on YouTube and TikTok a lot. Yes.
yeah. Well, then there you go. If they go on YouTube and TikTok a lot, that's where your audience are. Go there and find it, right? Like if you can become the Alex Hormozy in Vietnam, like that would make you so much money.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? Like,
Yes.
you can't be an Alex Hormozy now because he's global, right? Like he's already like the big head. But if you start off in the Vietnamese segment, you could ride that wave for a very long time.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I was too greedy to go global
Huh?
too early. But
No, I don't
maybe.
think it's I don't think it's like that. I think it's good to have that ambition, but I think that if you're going, but you have to go from zero to a
Yes.
hundred thousand first, right? And then a hundred
Yes.
thousand to 1 million, and then 1 million to 10 million. It's not just okay, let's go 0 to 10 million now, right? Baby steps. And I think that you just ride what you already have. And then once, let's just say in 3 years' time to you have 5,000 like clients, students, whatever it may be in Vietnam, you're like, okay, I keep doing all this paid ads and organic, but I'm not reaching, I'm capped. Doesn't seem like I'm getting more leads and stuff. Then you can be like, okay, I think now I can step it up and I can like bring it out to a more global audience and do more English speaking content, right? That's when you kind of like progress, right? But right now, I think we spoke about this. You have a market that you haven't capped that out yet. And I think there's frankly quite a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes
And I
sense.
think what you can actually do, because you already have so much content on your blog, you can actually take what you've written and then repurpose that to YouTube scripts. I mean, you can, if that's the goal, YouTube or TikTok, go and then you already have quite a lot of content that you can kind of like adjust a little bit and then start, yeah, shooting videos and stuff. And
Okay,
that's
okay. Shooting videos
obviously,
based on my
yeah,
post.
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a whole nother like thing, right? Camera presence, scripting, YouTube thumbnails. That's gonna be a lot as well. Mark's nodding his head because he's been doing production for God knows how long, and he's like, "Yep, there's a lot of work there." So
It's not so hard, really.
So,
Not now.
so Mark,
not now.
are you a solopreneur too, Mark?
In some aspects of my business, yes.
Okay, great.
So yeah, been that way for. Well, I started being a digital nomad back in 2002. So
Wow.
traveled the world and continued that lifestyle of solopreneur, digital nomad. Um, Finally settled in Bali.
How long have you been in Bali for?
This will be 8th year.
Eighth year.
Yeah.
Love
So
that.
I came for
Yeah.
2 weeks, 8 years ago.
Okay. What made you decide to pick that as the base to settle?
Look, it was a spontaneous destination. I've travelled a lot, um,
Yep.
but Bali became um, a regular spot. I came to escape Australia, school holiday. Um, I live in a resort town. So holidays are just filled with tourists. I came to Bali. Yes, it's another tourist destination, but I came to Bali to escape that. Found
Mm.
that it just matched. I used it as a destination, sort of a home base for quite some time around Asia. But always, there was always a laptop or two. The tech stuff has always been a part of what I do. Um, wasn't too long after being here that it felt like home. And even though I travel less now, I have a number of villas around Bali that I use as um, a base to be able to do the tech stuff. Set up a studio. It's a relaxed living style. The price is right. It's connected everywhere. That was why I chose Bali.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And judging from the accent, are you from Australia as well?
Originally Australia, yeah, although I left Australia in 2002 and haven't spent much time in Australia.
Okay.
I've lived in Europe and North America and South America, spent a bit of time all over. But that one connection is that, connecting via the internet, that digital space, time zone changes. However, the market space is similar. Oops.
Yep, sorry. Oh my goodness. My oh that's I this department has been having some internet issues lately, so I do apologize if I'm cutting in and out here.
Okay, it's okay.
But yeah, no, I definitely moved to Bali. I'm from Australia, so I just wanted somewhere that was kind of close to home. There's something a bit different. So Bali was a good destination for that. But yeah, anyway, so I'll just still be on for like kind of the next hour, but like any kind of like other questions from yourself too or Mark that you wanted to ask, any thoughts that you wanted to kind of grab my thoughts on, yeah, please feel free to do so.
Well, here's a little bit of a few questions about the
Yeah,
program, etc., and your experience. How long have you been
absolutely.
involved in BGE?
It's so funny. It's people I forget that people just start the course like a month ago and stuff like that and don't know who I am. But I was one of the first 50 students who joined BGE back in I think it was like July 2021.
Oh,
So
2021.
I've been here for like 3 years. Yeah. So that's when I started the course, and that was the first time they launched it. And I was reading a few of Adam's stuff. I was on his email list, and so when he was like, I've got this new course, this blogging course, I was very, very excited to join because I've just been reading some of his stuff for quite
But
some time. And
what's
back then,
what's the
anyway,
price back then? What was the
Sorry?
price of the back? What was the price of that cost? The lunch
Oh,
price back
the
then.
the course
Yes,
was
BCE.
the launching price
Yeah,
starting out was like 600 US dollars.
six
But
hundred.
in saying that, like once the launch was over, it was back to like 997. So it was
Okay,
always, and then yeah, so it's actually
nine
I
been
remember
really
seven.
quite
those days.
consistent.
Yep.
Okay, good price. Good
Yeah.
price. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so it was, yeah, so anyway, it was quite interesting because back at that time, a lot of the blogger influencers or like the blogging market at that point, you had a lot of people who were like,
Yes.
blog, you do Pinterest, and you post these pictures, and that's how you get traffic and things like that. So I didn't really have a lot of people in terms of like building a personal blog talk about SEO. And I was in a startup. I was an AI business analyst. I was very pragmatic, startup-y, and so Adam was kind of that only person who's like, oh, this is the pragmatic and systematic way of how you build a blog, and this is how you do it. And so that was something that was quite exciting about Adam at that time. And so, yeah, I joined in July 2021. And basically, long story short, within 3 months, I had launched my site. I'd made over $10,000 in
Wow.
selling links, so doing link building. It was my first time. I've never done blogging before, never had any marketing skills. I did a lot of outreach to build my site domain rating. I got it from 0 to 40 for a freshly new site in like 3 months as well. So I did a lot of that. And then through that, because I was reaching out to a lot of like high GR sites, I got a lot of like people asking me to purchase links. I got a lot of people asking me to write. And then shortly afterwards, I started an agency. And yeah, like, I mean, 6 months after starting the course, I quit my job and I was that. And from, yeah, like early, like January, I think January, February 2022, I have been doing this full time ever since.
Wow.
And so that's been my trajectory. And for me, I do a lot of SEO consulting and yeah, SEO consulting and work for a lot of kind of tech and SaaS companies in the US and things like that. So that's what I've been doing. So for me, the what you're going to get the most out of me is not necessarily starting like your personal brand and affiliate marketing from blogs and stuff like that, but you're rather going to get a lot of like I've helped like companies go from zero to like $1 million in organic traffic and stuff like that. So I do a lot of like working with companies, the operations of things, building teams. So I'm really good. Like I've hired like a lot of people over my lifetime from my agency for companies and things like that. Operation, well, systemizing that. I'm not going to say the operationalization. As I can't talk this morning.
Okay.
Anyway, so systemizing that, getting all the operations in there in place, and then strategy. So strategy, conversion rate optimization, all that stuff. So that's where I specialize in as a coach. So link building is also something I specialize in as well. So yeah, so you're going to get a lot out of me in terms of just like strategy, consulting, SEO, and things like that. And because I have like an AI background, so there's quite a few things there as well. So yeah, so that's basically my journey. I started becoming I was the second coach. So Eddie was coach hire number one in early 2022. And then I was the second coach who was hired in like oh my goodness, Jesus, where did that come from? Oh yeah, I am
Amazing.
always shocked and surprised by these like these
Sure.
little things that pop animations that pop up. Anyway, so then like mid 2022, that was when Colin approached me and asked me to become a coach. And one of those things I always believe in is kind of like giving back and helping students and helping people. Like I love that. Like I was very grateful for the course and stuff like that and the opportunity. So I'm just kind of paying it forward. And yeah, the team has been great. So I've stuck along for quite a long time as well because it's very, from my world in Australia, it's very like people like blogs, like what is this? So it was nice to have that community and to stay in the community and things like that. And so, yeah, so that's a bit of background for the both of you on like who
Yeah,
I am, and I've
that's
been
great.
doing that ever since. I also run operations for the entire company as well. So in terms of product operations, strategy, launches, and stuff, that's something that I do for BGE or AIB, whatever you want to call it as well. So and managing all the products and things like that. So yeah, so that is me in a very small, hopefully nutshell.
Thanks for sharing.
um,
So
no
is
problem.
there a Yeah, I refer to it as BG. I'll get the AIB soon enough.
Yeah.
Is there a local community in Bali who have of people who are
Yeah, I actually haven't, not that I know of. I think a lot of the clientele is actually all in like the US. I know a few people from Melbourne, Australia, but I haven't done a poll. It would be actually interesting to restart a poll and see if there's any people from Bali. I'm actually surprised there's not as much from Bali that I've like came across anyway.
yeah,
Maybe like one or two students over like the course of these 3 years that I've heard have come from Bali but and Indonesia, but not as much that as I was expecting anywhere that have come across to me in my calls and things like that, right? But I'm sure that if we put up a poll out of the what 4.4 thousand people we have here, that we should definitely be more than a handful of us here. So it would be
maybe
actually
a
quite
chance to
nice.
do a meetup? That's
Yeah,
one of the things of being a digital nomad that you know miss out on a little.
yeah, absolutely. You know what? Let me make a note to start a poll on where people are based at and whether anyone based in Bali, we can kind of get a group meet up together.
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay, let me just write that down. And for potential meetup. Okay, cool. All right, well, we made a note of that, and we can definitely kind of pull something together over there. So there was I heard they recently built a shopping center there, right? Like a
Yeah,
huge one.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah, some people
terrible for
would see it
traffic
as
now?
a move forward. Some people would see it as a move backwards. You know,
Yeah,
the sleepiness
yeah.
is now being broken. There's a huge apartment building in beachfront right beside it, the first of the really big ones, and the new hospital.
Right.
So it's changing. I've seen it go from you know perfect environment, not too busy, not too slow,
Yeah.
into a little bit more of the Canggu style traffic.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I was even 9 months ago, I was in Pereiranan, and that was really quite small and quaint and not that busy. And over the 9 months, the development has been shocking. Like I was just, oh my goodness. Like I was like, oh, like this is where we'll be. It's like nice and quiet. And now it's like, oh no, this is not where we're gonna be. This is very, very, very just crazy
Yep.
already. So it is quite interesting seeing the development, how fast that takes place. But yeah, sorry, I think Mark, you had multiple questions, and you asked one of them, but was there anything else so we can answer, get that kind of all done?
Um, for me, I'm going to be the voyeur for the next, or for a little while.
Yeah,
I'm going to take some time over the next week to be able to, tuck in and see some of the courses. Um,
yeah,
I'm I'm torn to, go through the process of, doing
yes,
step by step, and multiple programs together, or
yes,
do one at a time. Obviously,
mm,
there's a part of this that is over the shoulder. I record everything that I do, so
yes,
I'm probably more likely to do, a single stream,
yeah,
followed by the other trainings that
that's
are,
fair. I think it's I think the thing is it's actually quite streamlined in the sense where it's quite broken up. So you have the first section of just picking your niche, right? Like you can kind of go through like I think it's like 2 modules where you go through that, pick the
Mhm.
niche, and like that's like done. Like you can close that off, right? And then afterwards you'll probably have things like keyword research top like and then creating the content. So it's actually quite broken up because yes, it's like step by step, but if you look at it, it's actually quite contained in terms of like it's not, you don't have to watch the whole thing where it's like a weird way in terms of how you like action it. But in saying that, I think everybody does things a bit differently. Some people like to watch the whole thing back to front before they action anything. Some people like to watch action, watch action, watch action. So I think just take out the pace. I would, however, do recommend that you stick to one program, finish that in a nutshell before you start expanding out instead of watching like different courses all at the same time, because some of them might be relevant, some of them might not. But I think in terms of the flagship, you should definitely start with AI Income Blueprint. watch all of that, and then afterwards you can start explaining to Blog Automation Factory or whatever you feel like is something that you want to touch on a lot more. So I would say that Blog Automation Factory, the new one I make, even though it's not completely out yet, is going to be it's kind of we started it wait, was it? Yeah, I think it went live last week. It should take anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks to be completely done because right now Kevin recording it real time. So yeah, but definitely I would always suggest that you stick with one course first, finish that, and then afterwards, if you want to watch another course, go for it. It might be a bit confusing watching different courses at the same time, because the information does bleed, right? Like, for Blog Growth Engine 4.5, that is, it's still one of our flagship courses, but it is a little outdated in the sense where we updated that maybe mid last year, and lots of things kind of change in 12 months time, which is why you should watch the most updated one first,
Mhm.
which is AIB, and then
Mhm.
afterwards, if you want to kind of get that contextual, like the background information, needing additional context, go watch the other one, and then just note that there are going to be a bit of outdated information, although that's not to say that the information there isn't relevant. So yeah, that's the way I would kind of approach that one.
Yeah, this is not my first rodeo,
Mm,
so many of the stuff will be repeat of stuff that I already know, etc. It's really about the structure.
yeah. Of
Um,
course, of
so
course.
the possibility of doing multiple things at the same time, it's what I do now anyway. So
Yeah.
lots of things happening at the same time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, over the next week, I'll get a chance to dive in a little bit deeper and see what's happening. I've got a
Yep.
couple of ideas, fleshed out on the on the whiteboard as he glances over to it,
Yeah.
about the direction that I could possibly take. It'll be a little bit clearer next week,
Yep.
and the possibility of having additional questions. Obviously, school as an environment is something that I'm you know. it's easy to work in, so I'll use that
Yes.
environment.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, so for me,
Yep.
this next week is going to be an interesting one. The intention was to join Blog Growth Engine, uh, you know, some time ago, but it was always
Yeah.
on the back burner. Um,
Yeah.
I've followed Adam for quite some time,
Yeah.
almost as long as you've been in.
Yeah, really. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it was the AI variation that tipped the
Yes.
scales for me, and
Yeah.
that was the additional incentive to be able to get in and actually do something with it rather than sit and
Absolutely.
watch the results.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. Yeah. I mean, so I mean, I was just giving you context on in terms of information out, like how up to date the information is, because I do know some people who come in and start watching Blog Growth Engine, and then they're doing things like, oh, no, 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 we corrected that in the new AI course because this was kind of, with the advent of AI, things change like every like month, right? So we're always trying to
Yeah,
make
it is
sure
so
that we're on
fast.
top of that.
Yep.
Yeah, so for complete newbies who start out and they kind of the order that they watch things in is really important, in terms of just giving them that context and just to understand that don't follow everything to a T with the blog of Agent 4.5. It's still very useful information, but if you're not in the industry, it can be conflicting and people get really confused. But if you already have that contextual and background knowledge, then I'm sure that you're able to kind of sort that information out
And the tool
and
set
weed
will
through
have
that.
changed significantly since Brogler
Oh,
mentioned,
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, any questions from you? I don't want to kind of prolong this call. If there's kind of nothing if you guys don't really have anything that you want to kind of talk about and things like that, but I'll kind of like give it like a moment to anything from you before we end this one.
No, I think it's okay now because yes, I
Okay.
must focus on my Vietnamese blog and find
Yeah.
Vietnamese clients and turn my blog post content into Vietnamese
Yeah.
videos. Yes, I think
Yeah.
the idea is very good.
I Yeah, I think what I would have recommend you do is actually just start to profile who your target audience is, and your target audience is basically going to be your best paying customers. So who's paying you? What are their characteristics? What where are they from? What's their age? What's their gender, things like that. And afterwards, start to think about content that is, yeah, like more very bottom of funnel, right? And really targeting towards those people, depending on what like your coaching and stuff like this. I don't know what your product is, or like what you coach them on and things like that. But doing really bottom of funnel content is going to be key for getting clients quickly, even with a really, really small audience. And I think a really good example of someone who does this really, really well is hold on, it's obviously this is a completely different industry and niche, like even someone like let me try to find I'm gonna just give you an example because I was going through his stuff and I know that he actually makes quite a few. Hold on, let me find it in a second. Yeah, because I think he only has like less than like 5,000 subscribers. Maybe it's grown since then, but when I was kind of speaking to him and whatnot anyway, and he makes like over like 50,000 a month just like with some students in a Discord, like, with his like coaching and program and stuff like that. So he definitely does really well. Again, I'm gonna find him, his YouTube channel. So yeah, again, not the same industry, but like you can kind of get a sense. Yeah. So he's actually grown quite a bit of subscribers since then with only 18 videos. And you would know what I mean when I say that he doesn't have that many videos. The production isn't anything amazing and stuff,
Yes.
but his
He's not
videos are hitting
numbers.
exactly
Wow.
who he wants to target. So right now he's got about like 20, 30,000 subscribers, but he definitely had it was definitely less than 10,000 when like a few months ago when I was like maybe like 2, 3 months ago when I was kind of
Wow. So only 18
talking to
videos.
him.
Only 18 videos
Yeah,
and wow.
yeah. Yeah, and so for him, he's targeting very specifically people. It's a web design, like a web design agency and things like that. But he targets like people who like want to start like a wants to get clients who are like plumbers and stuff like that. Like, okay, like do you want to like, here's how you can target plumbers and contractors and build up a website for them and things like that. So it's like a very niche thing, but he does it really, really well and makes I don't know how much he makes now at this point, but at that point it was quite a bit, and he just did it simply through Discord and stuff like that. So yeah, so you can see that the content is very targeted, it's very bottom of funnel, rather than like, oh, like here's like the 10 best marketing tactics, which is very broad, top of funnel, like just appeals to everybody. That's not what you want to target, right? And obviously your titles are probably going to be in Vietnamese as well. So just making sure that you kind of really target who your potential customers are. So that's like
Yes.
an example of someone who does that really well. Actually, another one who does it really well, Sean Anthony. He's a bit bigger, but um, he's definitely done some really, really nice things. And I know that he makes like well over like 3 million a year as a solopreneur, like
Wow.
doing this himself. His main acquisition channel is he does a bit of paid ads. He
Hey,
started
thank you
dabbling
so
in paid
much for
ads, but he does a lot of email marketing to his email list. He builds it through LinkedIn, so followers through LinkedIn and through YouTube. So and in YouTube, he actually doesn't even do that much, but you can see that he just does a lot of like long videos, but but don't be fooled, they definitely making money. I think one of them was like,
Yes.
yeah, like he did like like some sort of
I
masterclass,
like
and it
this
like,
this style because no focus on the thumbnails but just talking because I'm
yeah,
very kind of not
yeah.
kind of editing guy. I cannot sit long to
You,
edit videos.
yeah.
Yes.
You know what's funny though? He said that when he switched from like a year ago, you can see like when he switched from the
Yes.
thumbnail focus and stuff into like simple screen shares,
Yes.
he
Yes.
made a lot more money from those videos and
Oh.
focusing on those type of content than he did with like the whole YouTube thing. So it's for
Oh.
you to test out. I'm not saying that this is what you should do and this is what works. I'm just saying that these are some examples of, I think, what you're probably looking towards too, but obviously in the more Vietnamese market, and something that you can kind of get ideas from and see how that works. Because I know that these guys make money and what they do work from a getting their
Hey,
client
thank you so
perspective
much
and
for
things like that. So yeah, so have a look at them, look at their funnel, look at how they're doing things, and see if you can replicate that for your audience and for a more Vietnamese clientele base.
Yes,
So
great.
I think they're two good examples for you to kind of look at.
Yes, great. Thank you.
All right. Well, Mark, looking excited to see what you kind of get up to over the next week as you go through the content. And two, good luck with the YouTube videos and let
Yes.
us know how that kind of goes. But
Thank you.
yes, again, I do really apologize for the muck up in daylight savings. I planned this calendar in
It's
school when I was in Australia, and there was time zones, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so terrible.
so
I hate it. I need to
normally
rearrange
it
that.
is at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. normally.
So usually I start these calls at 9 a.m. Bali time. 9 a.m. Bali time. So I don't know what that time is in,
So,
I think Vietnam's like 1 hour difference,
I
but I
am Bali
forgot,
time. Me.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So 9 a.m. is when I usually do the calls, and because like I have a calendar that,
Okay.
like that's where I run my schedule. I don't base off a school schedule because that's a bit hard. But then when I was setting up in
Yes.
school, my time zone was in Australia, so that kind of changed.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
it follows that it was like, okay, you set it up as 8 a.m. in Australia. We're always going to keep it at 8 a.m. in Australia, and so it doesn't adjust with my time zone. So I need to like switch that to the
okay.
Bali time zone.
So last week
So
it was in my
uh-huh.
time zone. Last week it is 8 a.m. in my time zone, and
Okay, yeah.
today
So
yes. So
yeah, yeah,
normally
yeah.
it is last week time or this week time.
I'm gonna update it in school. What you
Okay.
see in school will be the right time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this week was an exception, but I'm gonna change it up in school because I think that, yeah, I didn't realize there was daylight savings over the weekend. So I will go switch that up in school, and what you'll see there will be accurately reflected into whatever your
Okay.
time
Sure.
zone is.
Okay.
So no stress. But yeah, I do really, really sincerely apologize for that. I was actually in the middle of a call, and then Eddie messaged you. It's like, hey, like, because I have a call an hour before this, and so I'm in a call, and Eddie's messaging me like, hey, like, if people need to be let in. I was like, oh fuck, I'm sorry, and I was like, okay, let me quickly end this call. So I was on a call with Colin, and it's like, okay, I need to actually go to
Okay.
this. So
Okay.
anyway, but in saying that, thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys got something out of this, and hopefully I'll see you next week, but no stress if you don't, because I always understand you guys need to do what you need to do. And thank you for joining again.
Okay. So
Thanks
Thanks
for,
for your
thanks
time,
for your time.
everybody.
I'll see you
bye
next week.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Jessica. Bye
Thanks,
bye, Mark.
Mark. Thanks too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.